What's going on, guys? Take a deep into the video, and today we got a bunch of news about Call of Duty right now that was out yesterday and all that stuff like that, and it's been really kind of taking over COD right now. So we're just gonna talk about a few things here in this video. Starting off here, Infinity Ward, the developers of Infinite Warfare and the people that created, those great games that you loved, COD 4, Modern Warfare 2, and now they are back. Here we are with Infinite Warfare, and this is on the tail end of what they've made, pertaining to games like Ghost, Modern Warfare 3. Honestly, Modern Warfare 3 wasn't that bad. Modern Warfare 3 wasn't really that bad of a game. Ghost was, oh my god, I don't want to talk about Ghost, but Infinite Warfare, a lot of bad criticism. Like I said before, you guys know my stance on this. I don't believe it's that bad for Call of Duty. That's just me. It's just not that bad, right? But they have now released some updates to the community about some things that should have been in the game, but they decided to update on us today. So they have basically released a big release here, and they're kind of just doing pinpoints on things that we have been asking for, and they basically have addressed all of these issues right now. So I'm just gonna go kind of down the list, and let me know what you guys think about all this, because there's some things that are questionable, some things that are whatever. We're just gonna go right into it. Okay, so first off, top of the list, leaderboards, of course, right? They say it's coming by the end of this month. They have been designing leaderboards that, quote, promotes the competitive spirit of our multiplayer alongside more accurate percentile placings in leaderboards. Infinite Warfare's leaderboards will feature, quote, weekly, monthly, and all-time friends leaderboards. Which, okay, sounds cool. At least we're getting it by the end of this month. That's, pretty cool, right? And then next up here, we have custom emblems, which are coming by late February, which is kind of a downer, because, if we're literally getting it, almost halfway through the game's life cycle, kind of bad. Then we have the combat record, which, to me, they say the most dumbest thing I've ever heard in my entire life. So, combat records, right? They say it's coming by late February, but then they say that they're still designing the UI for combat records and deciding what data to show. What do you mean deciding what data to show? It's not, they are acting like a combat record to them is like a new thing that they've never done before. And even if they have to go back and look at the great combat records that were designed in Black Ops 3 and Black Ops 2, Black Ops 1, then do that. I don't understand, how are they still deciding what data to show? It's not that difficult to really pinpoint a set of data points that they want the combat record to show. That's just so, that's just such a dumb excuse in my opinion. I feel like that's such a BS answer in my opinion. Next up here, the game mode that they released a few weeks ago called Tactical TDM, which is basically team deathmatch without the boost jumping and the advanced movement and all that stuff. Said that it will be staying in Infinite Warfare permanently, so that's really good for those people that liked it. There was a big kind of worry or fear that the game would eventually be taken off the game, but they said that it will be stayed on the Infinite Warfare game, so that's pretty cool. Next up, they talk about studio live streams, where they will be hosting live streams soon to talk about the Raven Redwoods map, and included that is in the pack 1 of the downloadable content, and said that there'll be more details on when that is going to be live. So they'll be having a live stream, basically a tell-all, kind of like in the vein of Treyarch and Black Ops 3, how they did their stuff. It's very much like that, so we'll be getting that as well with Infinite Warfare. Next up here on the dock, they talk about future game modes that will be added to Infinite Warfare, and they will be available for an entire week rather than just one weekend. So that's pretty cool, because they would put out a mode and they'll be only out for the weekend, and not a lot of people would have had a lot of time to play with it, because whether it's a work schedule or because they're busy, whatever, stuff like that. So it's nice that now we'll be able to get a full week with a new game mode rather than just a few days. And along with that, they said that they're working on all of the fixes and updates, and there are some updates that take more time because of internal testing. So okay, that's kind of a point that really didn't have to be explained. I feel like a lot of people really understand that in this day and age, and especially people that are reading this article. Honestly, if you're gonna read this article, you're pretty much very much into Call of Duty, in that way. So one would assume that how this works. I'm saying how there is time required for these updates, there's time required to do the fixes and stuff like that. So I'm sure everyone really understands that. So that felt like a really unneeded point to explain. Next up here, they also said that they are actively working with pro players on CWL way of things, and the one thing they are trying to hone in on is to ensure that, quote, changes don't overlap or happen right before major events. And so this is kind of a big thing, because look, a lot of the MOG guys, a lot of people from Optic, FaZe, they do not like Infinite Warfare. And they have made it vocal. They literally do not like it. Like, you can see it in their vlogs sometimes, where an example is I watch Hex's vlogs a lot. You know what I'm saying? The head of Optic, right? So he will straight up make jokes oh, are you gonna play IW tonight? As a joke to the players, because they literally do not like the game, and it's kind of sad because they would rather play COD 4, obviously. But that's a big thing, man. That's kind of a huge deterrent. You know what I'm saying? I'd be kind of not ashamed, but I'd be kind of embarrassed if I was Infinity Ward and there's a bunch of MLG players that really do not want to play your game, and they're basically being forced to play it for MLG because there was a COD 4 rotation already in the pro COD circuit, so they don't want to do it again, obviously. But it's kind of a weird thing. But they said that they don't want to make changes overnight, whatever, and they happen it right before major events, so that way they can have a consistent game from when they do scrims and game time on LAN versus in the pro circuit. They're also working on anti-cheat updates for PC on Infinite Warfare, obviously, because wait a minute, why are they working on this if the game has already been out? See, this is my biggest issue with them right now, because this should have been worked on prior to release. And I was gonna read this and be like, oh yeah, it's a good thing, whatever. But it just dawned on me as soon as I read that, why are they working on that right now? That should have been already done. You know what I'm saying? Anti-cheat updates. Granted, they said updates, so there probably is some still anti-cheat stuff in the PC version, obviously, just because they said updates, I guess, they're gonna, gonna update the anti-cheat stuff. But I mean, at least they didn't say, we're gonna install anti-cheat updates, because dude, that should have been a thing already. But okay, it's fine, whatever. And now they're talking about a key glitch, which apparently this was a thing where I think it was on the 12 days of Christmas, where they were giving out stuff every day when you logged into Infinite Warfare. And apparently there was this one thing where you could keep backing out to the menu and then keep getting the key reward. So people were doing that, non-stop, and they were getting a bunch of keys, and they, had a crap ton of keys, and they were getting all the weapons and stuff like that. And they said that people that did that glitch will receive a 40-hour ban, along with their keys and salvage count being reset. And they said that they are reviewing, quote, additional penalties for those that did the exploit, but nothing is confirmed yet. But my thing is that I hope that the additional consequences, also include, them getting rid of their weapons that they got from the keys. And I'm not sure if there's a way they can do that. I'm not sure if there's a way they can, tell when they got the weapons out of the supply drops. But I hope that's a thing too, because it's kind of unfair, man. Because yeah, okay, you reset their salvage and their keys, but they still have the weapons that they achieved from the key glitch. So that's kind of a weird thing here, so I hope that that's one of the things. I didn't do it, obviously. I'm saying I obviously didn't do it, but that would be kind of a weird thing if they let them keep their weapons but reset their keys and their salvage. You know what I'm saying? I like that they're going to reset their keys and salvage, but at least take away the rewards that they got from the glitch as well. And the last update here is that they said that they will be updating the quality of a lot of the camos in Infinite Warfare with an update coming at the end of January. And the camos that will be updated include the newly ones added in the update to the Quartermaster, and they are also going to include the ones that were included in the game. So that's pretty cool. I don't know why they love camo so much in this game. I don't get it, really. Well, I mean, if you want to get, really kind of harsh on their end, I feel like they put so much camos in it just so as, that way they can drown out the drop population, if you will, and it kind of, lets people not have the ability to get the new weapons, so they have to buy more supply drops. That's a really shady thing I feel like they're doing. But yeah, they're updating the new camos, and they're updating the old camos as well. So if you like camos, you're gonna get an update. They're gonna look better. And the last thing here I wanted to touch base on here that a lot of people are kind of blowing up about in the community right now, and they're making a bunch of videos about it. I just want to get my 2 cents on it. And it was this leaked gameplay and UI stuff of this new Call of Duty called Call of Duty People's Army, and this is supposed to be the 2017 game, for this year. And this guy goes through the menus and goes through a bunch of stuff, goes through some of the combat records and leaderboards and stuff like that. And this whole thing has a very much of a Vietnam type of looking and aesthetic to it. And of course, the People's Army refers to one of the sides in the Vietnam War, obviously, and it was very much kind of like a big thing in the Vietnam War. And there's a lot of people talking about this, and honestly, honestly, you know, looking from the video, it looks like almost legit. It looks pretty good, right? It looks like a pretty good rendition of it, but this is obviously not going to be the actual game. This is absolutely fake. The guy that leaked this on Twitter is like some guy that has a bunch of X's and he's an egg account, so he's not legit at all. Like, if you have an egg account, you're definitely not legit. But you know, like, there's like a bunch of things going on with his Twitter where he said that he was getting like asked a bunch of questions, and then he said that he was gonna just go to bed apparently. And you know, in one of these things, he goes through the guy's profile, and if you look in the emblem, it is an exact picture of a famous painting from Vietnam. So you know what I'm saying? So like, it looks like this is fabricated. Honestly, it looks like this is completely fake. And he said that he was gonna come back today as of this recording and show us some gameplay later. So we'll see if he actually does fabricate some gameplay for this thing. But I believe that this is completely false. This is not gonna be it. And I mean, yeah. So like, if you guys fell for this, just know that it's fake, guys. It's fake. Don't do it. Don't even buy into this. It's fake. However, it being fake, it does show a game that we would all, I think, like to experience. I'm saying, I love Black Ops 1. I love the Vietnam era as a whole, and I would definitely like another Call of Duty in the Vietnam era. And this really does look like something that we would actually be excited to have personally. This looks like a great you know, aesthetic. It looks like a great you know, obviously place and time for Call of Duty. Obviously, me being, you know, a huge fan of Black Ops 1, obviously, and I feel like, you know, a lot of people would actually be down for this Call of Duty if it were to actually happen. And not exactly this one, but you know, the same concept, the same styling of this Call of Duty. And with that note, that is all I got for this video. If you guys enjoyed, make sure you like, subscribe, drop us down below. Thanks for watching, and as always, I got you.